Time to light it up.
Welcome back to Box Office Maniacs, and tonight I have another summer blockbuster that just came out, or I'm going to assume that it's going to be a summer blockbuster, and that is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, anyone who's ever watched this channel knows I am a Marvel fanboy, and I admit it. I absolutely 100% admit that yes, I am a Marvel fanboy. I will go see every single Marvel film ever made, and most of the time I enjoy all the Marvel films that I've seen. There's very, very few that I came out and I'm just like, eh. Before I get to this review, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my horrible experience going to see this movie. Now, we went to go see it on a Tuesday, which was a big mistake, just to tell you right off the bat. And I knew it was a big mistake when we were going, but I still went, figuring, you know, it was at early in the morning. It was before 11 o'clock we went to go see this. And I don't know if they do it everywhere. They might, but Tuesdays is $5 movie day, and that's $5 the whole day. Now, normally when you go to the theaters before 11 o'clock, it's like $6, $6.20 or whatever it is. But after 11 o'clock, it goes up to $12 for a ticket, and that's, you know, absolutely outrageous. I think it's completely stupid. So when I go to the show, I always try to go see it before 11 o'clock, and this actually started before then. So it didn't really matter to me anyway that it was a $5, you know, day, because I was only saving $1. So now I'm not even exaggerating about this. There was two busloads of kids that they dropped off there at the theater on Tuesday. And going into the lobby, you couldn't even walk. There was that many kids. There was kids from the front to the back, and they were everywhere. It was a huge line. There had to be at least 200, 300 kids in this theater. And I'm just thinking, oh, what did I get myself into? Oh my God, this is going to be horrible. It's going to be a nightmare. And I guess it must have been a summer camp or a church group. I don't even know what it was. But yeah, there was nothing but kids throughout this entire theater. So I was thinking, well, hopefully they're going to see something else and not Ant-Man. And actually they did. I think they went to go see The Incredibles. But they were all lined outside the theater where The Purge was. So maybe they went to go see The Purge. I doubt it. But yeah, I think they all went to see The Incredibles. But the theater we actually went to go see Ant-Man in was, of course, sold out because it's Tuesday. Everybody wants to save that $1. Yeah, I understand going to see it after 11 o'clock. Okay, I get it. You don't want to spend $12. But going to see something before then, you're saving $1, $1. I mean, that's why I didn't expect it to look the way it did, but it did. It was ridiculously crazy, insane busy there. So as soon as we sit down, you know, the movie starts, or the trailer starts, and here comes a group of people in there with their idiot kids. Two probably 5-year-old kids, one daughter, one son. The daughter was the worst. The son pretty much sat there. The daughter screamed and talked and got up and walked around, and the parents, you know, and I've discussed this with Vince before. He's like, oh, well, it ain't the kid's fault, it's the parents' fault. Well, if, you know, and again, I guess that's true, but I'm talking about these stupid kids that are just walking all over, and the parents, they don't do anything. They sit there and they let their kids do this, and they think it's funny because they sit there and they laugh at their kids doing stupid stuff, and completely oblivious, totally oblivious that everyone else around them is there to see a movie, not to sit there and listen to their screaming stupid kids ruining it for them. And anytime it gets quiet, the kid's like,
you know where it is! Tell me where the shakes are! You know where he is!
He just starts making stupid noises just to be heard. They just, you know, want to make noises so they can be heard when there's no noise. And of course, this stupid idiot couple that was sitting next to us was the only kid in the entire theater that was making this noise right next to me. So I had to deal with that during the whole film. The whole film I had to deal with that. And then there was one point I got up to go to the bathroom, and I walked out into the lobby area, and one of the parents had taken their idiot kid out there, and the kid's just running up and down the hallway, jumping onto the couches and bouncing up and down on the couches, going,
and she's picking up this psychic power.
And I was like, oh my God, to make it stop. So, yeah. had to deal with that. So now on to the movie itself. All right, like I said, big Marvel fan. Now, the only Marvel film I did not go see at the movie theater was the original Ant-Man. It's not because I just didn't want to go see it. It was whatever circumstances had happened during the time it was out. I just didn't get a chance to go. So now flash forward, whatever it is, 2 years now, Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out. And somebody just asked me on Facebook that, do you really need to see the first one before you see this one? I'm going to say yes. I think that seeing the first one helps this movie a lot because you already know the characters, you know what happened to the characters, and the other big thing here is seeing Civil War. Civil War is a big part of this movie. They talk about it quite a lot in this movie. And if you've never seen Civil War either, you might be lost to that whole conversation they're having of what happened during that movie because it plays into this film as well. So going into this, I wasn't overly excited to tell you. It's kind of like the same feeling of going to the first one. But when I watched the first one finally on Blu-ray, I loved it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was inventive. I loved the whole concept of it. I thought all the actors in it were spectacular. You know, I loved everything about it. Loved the suit. Loved the story. I seriously, I was like, why didn't we go see this in a show? We should have went to go see this in a show. So now going into this one, I kind of, even after watching that, I still had kind of the feeling of, okay, you know, we're going to go see Ant-Man again. So going into this, I can tell you right off, I watched the trailer for this. There was 2 trailers, one short one, which was fine. And then we went to go, I think it was at the Alamo Draft House, they showed the longer trailer to this movie, and it showed everything. It showed all the surprises in this film. It showed all the shrinking gags. It showed all the getting big gags. It showed the bad person who was in the film. It showed who the enemy in the film was and what they do, and it showed the whole plot of the film. And then going in to see this, there was not much fun to be had because you've seen it all. I mean, yeah, the movie is like an hour and a half long. The trailer was probably a good 10 minutes, and they show all the really cool stuff that happened. I mean, there's a few things here and there that are still surprises, but it wasn't as fun because I've seen it all, you know? It's like, oh, well, this is when he turns little and goes and does this, and then this, and that's when she turns into the Wasp and goes and does that, and then this is, you know, this is when he gets big, and this is, I mean, literally, they show all that stuff in the trailer, and it's in the movie, and there's no surprises for me. So if I hadn't watched that trailer, I would have probably liked this movie a whole lot more. But just for the fact, because of all that, and the screaming kid, and the being annoyed through the whole thing, I wasn't crazy about this film. Now, the other reason why I wasn't too crazy about the film is for the fact that the bad guy in this film, or supposed to be this woman, and they call her the Ghost, they show her on the trailer, she wasn't that interesting of a character. I didn't really like her character that much. Plus, she looked like she was right out of a video game. Her whole mask, it reminded me of something, and my wife's like, well, that's like from Destiny, one of the video games that are out. And it pretty much is. I mean, the mask itself that she wore was kind of boring. It wasn't interesting, and her whole outfit was just boring, and her character was boring. I didn't like her character at all. And then you're supposed to have this hitman type of guy, and he's just a normal guy, and he wants to steal the tech from, you know, Prim, I think his name was, the Michael Douglas character. And he wants to steal his tech, and he's not really a vicious character. He doesn't come across as an evil guy or anything, you know. He's just a guy in the movie, and he didn't really work that well for me either. And the actual story itself was kind of like, okay, you know, they could have done something a little bit better with the story, I thought. Because, and again, this is not a plot spoiling thing I'm going to give you, because as soon as the movie starts, the first 3 seconds of the film, they tell you what the plot of the film is. And if you've seen the first movie, you know, again, having to see the first movie before this, that there's a thing in the film called subatomic, where you go so small that you don't exist anymore. And that's what happened to this professor's wife. She went subatomic, I can't even say it. She went real small and disappeared in this other world. And then this movie is him, because it shows him, like, right at the beginning of the film saying, I need to go get my wife. I think we figured out how to go get my wife. And that's the plot of this. I mean, that's part of the plot, along with the ghost woman and this other guy trying to steal the tech. But overall, it just, I don't know, it just kind of fell flat for me. Which is weird to say about a Marvel film, because I've loved every Marvel film. The only other one I was not crazy about was Doctor Strange. But now, I kind of like Doctor Strange, now seeing him in the Infinity War, and seeing what he's able to do, it made that movie a little bit more fun for me now. So, but even that, it's like, that was better than this, I think. So, but the thing about a Marvel film is you wait long enough, you're going to get some incredible action sequences towards the end, and they never disappoint. That stuff never, ever disappoints. Once it hits the action sequences at the end of this film, you're like, wow, that's amazing. Even though you've seen it on the trailer, there was... I mean, literally, the whole ending of the film was pretty much on the trailer, but it was fun. And the gigantic, probably 45 minutes worth of action at the end of the movie was great, and I love that. And because of that, if it wasn't for all that real fun stuff at the end of the movie, I would have probably given this movie a 3 out of 5. But because the whole end of the movie was so exciting and so well done and so fun, I'm giving Ant-Man and the Wasp a 3.5 out of 5. It didn't really excite me. I didn't think the characters were as well developed in this one as they were in the first one. I think the first one, it was much funnier, and there was a couple laughs here and there in this one. But if you're making a movie like the first one, who went mostly for laughs, then you're making this one, it doesn't have that in there. You're like, okay, well, what are they trying to do here? You know, is it supposed to be funny? Is it not supposed to be funny? And give us a cool character. Give us a cool villain. I mean, a lot of the Marvel films depend on a cool villain, and they've all had amazing villains throughout the whole entire series. And this one, we have a ghost character that can phase in and out. I mean, it's like, okay, I mean, not a great villain, not a great character at all. But, you know, you lose some, I guess, and this is the one that lost for me on Marvel. Not a terrible film. If you haven't watched the trailer, then you will probably like this movie a whole lot more than I did, because you will have a lot more cool surprises. You're like, oh, that's so cool, not knowing that was going to happen. And maybe you can go see this without a screaming kid through the entire thing, running around and yelling and screaming and acting dumb through the entire film. And maybe that will make it much more enjoyable for you. And if you did like this movie more than I did, please leave comments below and let me know what you thought of it. I thought it was one of the weaker of the Marvel films, and very disappointed in it. I really am. I was expecting something really big, being that I liked the first one so much. Yep, wasn't in here. So if you want to become one of our Maniacs, please hit that subscribe button, because we love all of our Maniacs on here, and we love having you on here, and we love talking to you. So I will see you next time here on